What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over talking about the 4 new cards added into Super Packs today in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. How good are they? And remember, the Galaxy Opals, yes, they're in Super Packs, but shouldn't ultimately be super expensive. Jaren's going to be expensive, and obviously Big O, 100 overall, is going to be expensive as well. Now, as we do start this thing off with Patrick Williams, if you are new to the channel, man, and enjoy the MyTEAM content, please smash that subscribe button. I really do appreciate the support, as always, on the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing, and you guys are the reason that I'm able to do this thing. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It really does mean a lot to me. So, let's look at Patrick Williams and then move into some of the other cards that obviously are going to come out today. Again, it is Super Packs. Do I love that? No, but it is what it is. 92 3-ball, 89 speed, solid defense. Pat Williams base on very quick, normal leaner, rush dribble style. At 6'7", small forward, he's fine. You know, like, he's fine. I'm not going to sit up here and hype him up too much, but the card is fine. You know, he's going to play a little defense, give you a decent enough 3-and-D option. Do I think, you know, he's Jonathan Isaac level good, Giannis Galaxy Opal level good? No, he's only 6'7", and so that's kind of the one thing that I see. If you're 6'7" at the small forward position, and I'm not saying the 84 or 89 speed is worthless, but I am saying that's one of the most important stats somebody can have. And at this stage, 89 speed is not ideal. If you're 6'7" at the 3, I mean, we're in mid-April, right? And so that is the one thing that I'm looking at for Pat Williams that I just wish was slightly better. And no, I'm not saying it's horrible or unusable, but I am saying I wish it was slightly better for Mr. Patrick Williams. Caris Levert up next, 6'6" shooting guard here, 94 3-ball, 94 speed. The play-in start tonight, right? Yeah, they do. And I think the Hawks, who they play, they got the Magic, the Orlando Magic. That's an intriguing game because you got two like polar opposite teams. Hawks primarily an offensive team, and then you got the Magic and defense team. Going to be interesting there. 94 3-ball, 94 speed. Thing for me when I'm looking at Caris Levert, like the defensive stats obviously just aren't ideal, you know, mid-80s basically across the board. It's usable, right? But it's just not great. 6'6" again at the shooting guard positions, fine. To me, it comes down to his release. Caris Levert on very quick, Pro 2 leaner. Pro 2 leaner is obviously nice for Caris Levert. Is it as good as maybe it's been in the past? No, but the Pro 2 leaner is still really good. All you got to do is use the Pro Pass Tim Duncan or play against him to realize that the Pro 2 leaner is still definitely relevant. But I see Caris Levert being a really solid card on this game. Solid at the shooting guard position. Not necessarily perfect, but he's not bad. You know, somebody's saying couldn't make him a point guard. I mean, I guess, but you're begging at that point. Like, he's only a Galaxy Opal. 2K hasn't really changed a ton of positions. So if you want this Caris Levert to be a point guard, I feel like at this stage, we're just begging a little bit. I don't know. That's just kind of my approach to it, but I feel like people are begging. Caris Levert looks fine. Jaren Jackson Jr. sees the release on very quick, normal leaner, 94 3-ball, 92 speed, defensively solid. My whole thing with this, and I think this Jaren card is great. How much better is he than the Galaxy Opal? Now, yes, he sees the release on very quick, but outside of that, again, he just gets slightly better. I can't necessarily hate on the upgrade, you know, defensively, again, just gets this slightly better. And that's basically all you see with most cards when they go from a Galaxy Opal to a Dark Matter. So I can't hate too much. Like, the Dark Matter Jaren is definitely going to be, you know, a step above the Galaxy Opal, especially now that that release is going on very quick. At first, I was like, the Jaren Jackson Jr. Diamond release is just fine. But as you start using more and more cards, you start realizing, like, how much of a release on very quick really, you know, has an impact on it. You know, like, at first, I was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But the more you play the game, the more you will realize that. Again, 6'10", good frame, 7'4" wingspan. I like what Jaren does provide for you on the court here. Perfect, like 3-and-D type of small power forward on the game. No, he's not going to be able to dribble that well. You know, like the Jalen Green dribble style. I feel like that's what they're giving a lot of people. It is what it is. Like, it's better than like a big man dribble style, but it's not necessarily like game breaking good. Hotspots for Jaren's good for sure. Again, is he really worth, you know, buying packs for or anything? No. Oscar up last. Now, I want to start with the release and work our way from there. Oscar based on very quick. They didn't even change his release. For 100 overall, they didn't change his release. And am I surprised? Well, I will say it like this. Pat Ewing didn't get a changed release. So, I mean, honestly, I thought Oscar would, though. Like, I genuinely thought Oscar still would get a change release. I don't know why, but I just thought patch queuing was just kind of a one-time thing. They didn't change the release of Oscar at all. People are saying he's cool, I guess. Not really. Like, this card kind of stinks. I mean, he genuinely kind of stinks. Oscar on very quick. Pro 2 leaner, I guess, is nice for a big O. Debug dribble style. I mean, he's got some things going for him. The thing for me is it's just really, really, really hard for me to hype this card up that much. Now, again, to me, it really just comes down to, well, a couple of things. Number one, as far as 100 overalls are concerned, how many other 100 overalls do we have that do have those change releases, right? And I'm not saying Oscar's release is bad. I'm not saying that, because it's not. It's a fine release. But I'm saying that compared to the other release of some of these endgame type cards or some of these other, 100 overalls, that hurts Oscar. When you look at the 100 overalls, and I'll scroll through them quick. MJ's got a change release. T-Mac, Penny, all these cards have change release, right? And change releases. And I'm not saying, D-Book obviously doesn't, but his release is great. I'm not saying Oscar's release is horrible, but when you're comparing that release to a D-Book, that release to an MJ, if you want to talk about Oscar being one of the best point guards in the game, yeah, it holds him back a little bit. And again, it's not necessarily the biggest deal in the world, but to say it doesn't hold him back would just be wrong. It definitely does hold Oscar back quite a bit. So those are the things that I'm obviously looking at for Oscar. I wish they would have changed his release, because I would love to hype Mr. Oscar Robertson up even more. I just can't today. I just can't in good faith talk about Oscar being like the best point guard in the game. At the end of the day, these cards are only available in packs or via the auction house. You can't grind for these things, and it is what it is. And I can't even say they're available in packs. They're available in super packs, right? They don't even get their own pack drop. They're just available inserts in super packs. Yeah, no way to grind for these types of cards, which kind of does stink. Like, I wish there was a way to grind for the cards, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. None of these cards are game-breaking good. I do think as far as for their value, I probably like Caris Levert as much as any other card that came out today. Say I'm crazy, but again, when you're looking at the Caris Levert base on very quick with the Pro 2 leaner, I think the potential of him is definitely there. The problem with Caris, I think, is really going to lie with the defense, right? Defense at 6'6" with low defensive stats. That's where Caris Levert might struggle a little bit. As far as disappointing today, guys, Oscar is definitely disappointing for a card that I thought would get some change shigs, just because that's kind of what we, not necessarily in the Flash specific, but as far as 100 overalls, that's when we start to see these cards get better and better releases. Oscar stuck with his release. That's what 2K decided to do. It is what it is. But, I mean, to me, Oscar is definitely a letdown when you're looking at all the cards that did come out today. But, yeah, I mean, it's just another one of these flash drops. And again, I guess you can grind the challenges out to, at the end of the season, get a Dark Matter card. Do I think that's worth your time, worth doing? No. Like, at the end of the day, I don't. Just go grind domination for Jalen Williams instead. Like, get your free Dark Matter that way. I don't know. That's just where I'm at. Another day of these Flash Super Packs. Another day of these cards leaving something to be desired. No, they're not, the worst cards in the game. But when I'm looking at it, like, all these cards just look average. And Oscar, for 100 overall, is one of the worst in the game. And, I mean, I know people are going to disagree with me on that. But if you're looking at the top 100 overalls, name cards worse than Oscar. Shay's better, Bosch is better, T-Mac better, Penny better, Tim Duncan, both of them better. Wilt's better, Pat Ewing isn't better. But I mean, he's literally one of the worst ones in the entire game. He might be better than Steph, but that would be about it. So it is what it is. Another day of Super Packs, another day of these cards, leaving something to be desired. That is going to really wrap it up for our video. I wish I could sit up here and talk about these cards a little bit more. But yeah, there's nothing real here to talk about. If somehow you do get the Dark Matter Jaren, like, unsellable, just know he's a solid card that can play. I'm not going to hype him up too much just because, again, we've seen Diamond Jaren, who's good. We've seen Galaxy Opal Jaren, who's good. But just know that Dark Matter Jaren is a really solid card. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.